to Bob's Sales Camp. I'm Bob Kimball, and this is Mod 5, 10 steps of the sales presentation. Hey, let's get something straight up front. You are not standing behind a podium making an address. The objective of the whole 10 steps is to get the prospect to talk, not you. And each step is a question or questions to help the prospect discover the truth for themselves. And you're not going to just plod through it, step 1, step 2, step 3, and stuff like that. It's a process with which you're going to go back and forth with the steps here and there, back and forth, till you reach your feature benefit statement in step 8. That's right, step 8. That steps 1 through 7 are just designed to help the prospect become receptive to your features and your benefits. So let's take a look. Step number 1 on our 10 steps are to ask closed-ended questions to get facts and information. Now, here's the thing about this. You're asking the questions to get facts and information. But just like a good attorney, you probably already know the answers to those questions. Your purpose is to get the prospect to say them, all part of getting the prospect thinking about things and how they are. So you're asking, what are you using now? How many units do you use every month? What kind of service are they providing, and all this. Then step 2 is an open-ended question which asks basically a sense of what are their feelings about what they're doing now. So, how satisfied are you? How would you assess the service you're getting? Something like that. Overall, how do you feel about what you're getting here? Well, of course they're happy now. Think about it. If they weren't happy now, they would have done something about it. Go back to think about something like this. I'll bet you've been in a relationship which crashed. When it crashed, didn't you look back 3, 4, 6 months ago and realize it was dead then? You just never realized it at the time. The same thing with your prospect. It's entirely likely they're doing business with a competitor. They sort of think they're happy. They've never really thought about it. But give them a chance to think about it a little bit, which is what we're going to get them to do. They may decide, son of a gun, I might be receptive to doing something like this. So then what we're going to do, step number 3, is we're asking closed-ended questions to identify the features and benefits that are most important to them. About what they're doing now. What do you like most about this thing? What else is important to you? Any reasons why you've chosen such and such an organization to do this? And you're thinking, wait a second. I'm getting them talking about all the things they like about what they're doing now? Yeah, because basically you need them to bring forth all the things they like about what they're doing now in order to basically plan out your later feature benefit statements that are going to address those points that they need to address. Now, step 4 is absolutely essential too. You must uncover some unmet need or dissatisfaction. If you cannot uncover an unmet need or dissatisfaction, you're dead in the water. It ain't gonna fly. That's all there is to it, like this. So basically, you might ask directly to them, what would you like altered or improved? If they say, no, I can't think of anything, then you would go, the next step on it is to say, if there was one thing you could change, what would it be? And they can't think of anything. In that case, what you do is you go to the 3rd step here, because part of doing your homework, you know some of the disadvantages of their current vendor. You know that. You've had other prospects and customers that have told you about that. So you just relate to it directly. And be very casual about it. Interesting. We have several of our current customers that formerly did business with XYZ. And they told us that they seem to occasionally have a problem with such and such a thing. Has that been your experience on this thing here? And in that particular case, they might just say something like this, well, oh, to a bit, and no, not that much. Then step 5, get them to spell out the negative consequences of that unmet need or dissatisfaction. Hey, did that ever present an inconvenience to you? How did that affect your customers? What kind of impact did that have on your scheduling overall? Now, at this point, they're probably coming up with something objective that happened as a result of that unmet need or dissatisfaction. They hadn't even really thought about it till now, but they're thinking about this thing here. So they start talking about it. At this point, when they're talking about it, shut up. You want to get them to continue doing the talking because they're selling themselves. So you use what is called a turn-denying regulator. You go, it did? Really? Oh. Or even just a nonverbal. Something like that. What you're saying with turn-denying regulator, which is what you're doing with step 6, is, I'm not going to talk now. You keep talking. Please do that. So now they go through and they talk about something that happened. They expand on it a little bit more like this. Now, in step 7, you paraphrase what they've said. What they've said. So you say to them something like, so you're telling me that you need, cite the thing they like the most, but you also need to have unmet need or dissatisfaction. End it with a tie down. Don't just say you want A and also B. No. You want A and also B, don't you? Wouldn't you? Aren't you? Or even just be a Canadian. You want that, eh? Do something. Even what you can do with this in a tie down, you can even just do it non-verbally. So you're telling me you really need X that does what you like the most, but you also want Y that takes care of some dissatisfaction. Now notice what I did with that. Just with my gestures and a pause, I turned that into a question. That's a tie down. So there's all sorts of varieties of tie downs that you can do. Then we go into step 8. Now, as I alluded to earlier, we give our feature benefit statement. You go right into it. Our model has got such and such a feature, which will give you the thing you like the most. But we also have another such and such a feature will address that unmet need of dissatisfaction. Then you go back, and the next point of that is, you won't have that problem they cited on steps 5 and 6. Will you? Now on this thing here, what you've been doing with steps 7 and 8, you're kind of going back and reiterating things they've been saying to you. You are extremely likely at this point to be getting an affirmative response. Assuming you get some kind of an affirmative response, yeah, ask a closing question at this point if they seem to agree. No, I wouldn't have that problem anymore. No, I guess I wouldn't. Maybe an assumptive close. Will you be needing this before the first of the month? Something like that. Or a choice technique. What do you think? Would you prefer red, white, or blue? Something like that. Now, throughout the presentation, also on this thing here, even in step 1, you'll use the porcupine technique to answer a request for information that suggests interest. They call it the porcupine, because what do you do when someone throws a porcupine at you? You throw it back at them. Exactly. So when they say to you something like that, do you deliver on weekends? And you deliver both Saturday and Sunday. What do you say? You say, would you prefer Saturday or Sunday? Get it? You ask a question. When they ask, does this come in blue? Would you want light blue or dark blue on that thing there? And then, ultimately, step 10, confirm the details and close it. Will that be cash, check, or charge? Or a related question. Will you be needing some ties to go with this? Something of that sort. Now, I'm going through this thing. Let's go through an example of how we might play this out. And let's just say you're selling copiers. And say you're a representative for Centennial Copy Machines. And you're dealing in the Ricoh line of copiers. And you're calling on Interstate Investments today. It's a small firm that specializes in risky commodities and stock options, stuff like that. Pre-call research. You determine the account execs has got 2 execs, 2 secretaries. They do not have a copy machine at this point. They use a self-service copy center right next door to them. You figure they're doing about 850 copies a month at 10 cents a copy. Your objective is to basically lease them a desktop for $35 a month, which includes service and everything, plus it runs 7 cents a copy. So they're spending $85 a month now, you're going to run $94.50, which means what you got to sell, you're going to sell the difference of $9.50 a month. Think about this. You don't have to come up with a lot of really good benefits that are going to justify $9.50 a month. So let's kind of look at a situation that we might have here, where, say, Beth Brownlee is coming in here. She's a rep with Centennial Copy Machines, and she is calling on Rita Russell at Statewide Securities, the firm that specializes in the commodities and stock options. And so it's sort of like Beth saying, "Good morning, Ms. Russell. I'm Beth Brownlee with Centennial Copy Machines. Hi, Rita Russell. Good to meet you, Beth. Do you presently have a copy machine in this office?" "No, we don't." "So what do you do when you need copies?" "Oh, there's a copy store right next door to us." "How does that work out for you?" "Just fine. It's very convenient. They have very high quality copies." "You ever go over there by yourself?" "Not usually." "Ooh!" Wait a second, did you hear that, what she said? Not usually? It means occasionally. She has to go over there by herself. Okay, I'm going to pick up on that. I may want to expand on that later on. But not usually. We just had one of the secretaries. One of them always free to do that? Most of the time. Again. Oh, that's telling me occasionally, no, one of them is not available. But you're picking up on it, listening to this? So most of the time, if they're not available, one of the account execs we'll just do it. Do you have to wait a long time when you're over there? Not very often. Again, hear that? Hear that? Not very often. They got 8 self-service machines. We never have to wait. Some have to wait more than a minute or two. Now, we want to get them talking about all those times in which it really is not all that convenient. So, how often do you have to wait more often than that? Rarely. Again, get it? Rarely. Maybe once or twice a week they might be real busy all of a sudden. That ever present an inconvenience to you? Just once. Bingo. See what you're doing? By asking these questions, you're getting her to talk about it, and you've identified a situation where their current way of doing things caused an inconvenience. A client was in a real hurry, had to wait about 5 minutes, and to which Beth then just turned to an regulator. Keep talking, in other words. Yeah, one of the real high rollers, he's very important. So in this case here in particular, now's the time to get into your selling presentation. So I'm saying something like, well, our Ricoh desktop has technology comparable to the best commercial machines here, which give you top quality copies. And plus, it'll be right at your fingertips, right in your office, so no one will have to go back and forth to the copy center. No more clients having to wait, eh? But won't this cost us more? Less than $10 a month more than you're paying now. That's a pretty good return on your investment, isn't it? So at this point, she says something like, well, maybe. How much more do you need to get a hint that they're ready to actually take some action now? Well, maybe. They're not going to jump up and say, yeah, calls me. No, they're not going to say that. Well, maybe. All right. Go for it. Go for it. Say, I've got a new machine right in my van. You just initial this agreement, by the way. You don't sign a contract. You initial an agreement. If you just initial this agreement, we can install it today. Is now a good time, or later this afternoon be more convenient? How long would it take? I got an important meeting about an hour. Oh, no more than 15 minutes. I'll do it now then. Be out of your way, plenty of time. Know this. Assumptive flows. I'll do it now. To which Rita just says at that point, sure will be nice not to have to go to that damn copy center anymore. Looks like that here. Get it, people? Apply this process to your next sales call, and I'll bet you'll be real pleased with the results. Well, that's Mod 5, 10 steps of the sales presentation. And this is Bob's sales team.